Hey Clashers, a lot of people asked me, what is your honest opinion about the last update? And I thought, okay, I would just do this series where I was just going to like rate the update pretty much as soon as we were a couple of days into the update, so we have a nice impression of what exactly happened so far. And I feel like we are going to go through all of this one by one with the categories of the different sneak peeks. And then we are going to have in the end like my final call where I'm going to give points in between 1 to 10 points, where 10 being the best amount of points. Let's get started. We're starting off with, that's right, sneak peek 1, and that were the balance changes. Overall, and that's the first thing I want to highlight, is I'm not an expert for Town Hall 11 or Town Hall 12, what the main focus was for the balance changes. But what I want to highlight is that my guess is that Supercell is buffing or nerfing those specific areas of the path to during being a max player, because they have a statistic or something somewhere where they see, okay, this tunnel was too hard for the majority of players or too easy. And I know there's a lot of people out there who are saying, okay, the game is too easy anyways, but that's really small number of players overall who feel that way. The majority of players are like going in 20-man Town of 14 wars, going maybe 2 out of 40 3-star rate. So you can see already the majority of clashes are having problems. And I think overall right now the state of the game is really good, first of all, when it comes down to the balance on Town of 14 for the game. Probably for pros it's too easy, and for casuals it's too hard. So right now there's something in between kinda, which then again sounds kind of fair. But again, back to the balance. Again, for those Town level, I'm not really sure. I think it's good. If Town 11, Town 12, Town 10 as well was too hard, I think it's good that it was balanced and things were getting a little easier over there. But I think especially the mortar and the flame flinger, that's where I have an opinion on. Mortar buff, I like it. Flame flinger buff, I don't like it. There is pretty much no change. It sounds crazy, right? Like, so many things got nerfed in the flame flinger, but pretty much there's no change. There's literally no change in the end. And I feel like the flame flinger the radius kind of has to be nerfed, where the damage of the flame flinger shots can only affect targets which are directly close. They're pretty much next to tile to the building which is getting targeted. That's what I feel like should be the case. That's what I feel like should be the nerf. And I still think the siege would be viable because it is so strong, but it wouldn't be as crazy strong anymore as it is right now. That would be my guess. So that's like the first thing. But let's move on. Balance changes are done. Let's move to the clan capital. In the clan capital, there are a couple of things which are kind of nice. For example, the button to actually get to the other clan during the raid weekend. I think that's overall a really nice change to make the life easier. Obviously, the builder potion being now visible directly in the forge is a nice thing, but to be honest, that's nothing too crazy. But the more bigger change is actually the raid medal distribution, which I feel like is kind of cool. I like that it's now more like there's a bit more rewards for the defense. So that's overall cool. The one big thing though, which was actually only a bug fix, which I really dislike personally, is that you can now see always the bases of clans. Like you can always spectate the clan capital, which might not be a big factor for the majority of clashers, but for a YouTuber it can be kind of tricky because obviously a lot of people are like taking a look at the clan and things like that. So that's kind of, I'm not a big fan of that. Let's put it that way. But I think we should now get to the main point, which is the home village changes, and I think that's what a lot of people are saying, or like waiting for, and that is the change for removing the troop cost. And the feedback was kind of crazy. I was really surprised. There was everything kind of in between of I like it a lot to why did they change that? That was always in the game. I just don't like change. Then some people said there was like this decision making of choosing the right farm army gave the game a little bit more of depth, which I will talk about in a second if I kind of agree with that. So there were a lot of different opinions. Let's put it like this. So I will put my opinion out there. If you like it or not, that is obviously then up to you what you make from it. And I really want to make sure that this is not a front to anyone. But first of all, the first point, which a lot of people said, like this giving depth to the game to like choose the right farm strategy. If that is depth to the game, then you have missed a huge part of this game already, which is the attacking, right? So I feel like this argument is complete nonsense because, come on, is it for you really depth if you have to decide if you farm with barge or sneaky goblins? I'm kind of speechless, to be honest. So this argument to me is like beyond nonsense, to be honest, because I feel like you can just counter argument that so easily with saying that now finally people can actually try out armies without getting punished because they have to invest a lot of dark elixir, maybe, which they want to use for heroes, or which they want to upgrade their troops with elixir costs and so on. So I think that's a really, really cool change, because now people can actually try and learn better, really good strategies, which are then relevant again for the clan war, and which are improving your skills in the game. And that's actual depth in the game, which is way more important in my opinion. But again, that's just my opinion. So that's overall my opinion. I think it's a really cool change. I love it. I think it's really, really cool. It's just nice. It's just a nice change, I think. And overall, people have to finally accept, especially off the Town of 14s, if the game is not easier for new players, there is not going to be that many new players, and then the game is not going to go anywhere. Because yes, it's nice to have a big community, which is already on a really high level. But if there's not new players coming in, then a game has no future. And that is not good, not having a future. So I think just for us as Town of 14 community, maybe then, it is just, we just have to kind of like move forward with knowing that this is bringing the game forward, kind of. And I feel like that's a really important mindset then. So overall, I like the change. The second really big change, in my opinion, for the home village was the change to the super troop donation, right? Like the super troop donation was kind of big as well, which means now you can actually gem donate super troops, which I feel like is already a really good change. I'm happy that finally something has been done for the super troops, but at the same time I think there should be more reworks, kind of. I feel like there should be more fixes maybe on how and how not you can select and maybe even cancel the super troops. So I think this change is decent. It's fixing a couple of problems, but at the same time, this I think cannot be the final solution, at least in my opinion. And now, just to like sum up everything and actually get a ranking kind of out of this, I want to highlight actually something really important, and that is we can only rank what is there and what is kind of connected with this update. So for example, I cannot compare this update with, for example, the Town of 14 update we had last year. That is just not fair, guys. This is not fair at all. Yes, I would like to have a new Town Hall update or a new game mode update every single time as well. That would be nice. And yes, for example, the clan capital was a nice feature. I think it was a really cool thing. But at the same time, then again, knowing that because of this feature, we had to wait for bigger updates for like 1 year. It's tricky, okay? It's really tricky. So overall, it's really hard to judge like an update, I feel. So the one thing to make it easier and more relatable is I will only judge what is there and what is related to this specific update. And with that, we're starting things off with the balance changes. Overall, I like them, but for me, it's a negative point that the Flame Flinger is still as strong as it was before. Yes, there were a lot of things mentioned, like this was nerfed, this. There is no, it does not feel, I don't see any change. Let's put it like that. So I think I would have liked to change it, as I mentioned earlier in the video. Next thing is the clan capital. I think, again, the change with the clan capital being visible to everyone, to me again is a negative point in my opinion. Let me double check really quickly so I don't forget anything. I like the raid medal distribution again. That's something which I like. And overall, the clan capital is pretty good, but I would have liked to see some more quality of life changes. For example, remove that really stupid ranking of players based on the loot they earned so far. Turn it into a loot for every raid. I mean, that loot list is only available to see that when you go into a new raid. Why? Why is that only visible not then? Instead of, I don't care who got how much loot in my clan. I want to see how much loot we gained as a clan on this raid weekend. And just show me that next to the attacking log pretty much. Yes, I still want to see like who did how many attacks, but I don't care how much loot they got because, well, if they're in my clan, I should trust them anyways, right? So I think it's just like an unnecessary list right there. I think the loot should be showcased somewhere different. And I think that could have been easily done in this quality of life. So that's a negative point for me again. And then Home Village. Home Village, overall, as I said, I really liked the army cost remove. I think that was a good change. But again, coming back to the Super Troops, and I'm saying that for 1 year longer already. And I will keep saying that until Supercell is doing something about it. Make us cancel the Super Troops. That would be already such a big step in the right direction with the current system. The current system made sense when we had maybe like 6 Super Troops or something, or before. But at this point we have so many Super Troops that we need to be able to rotate and everything. So that's, to me, again, a really big negative point, which should have been there, in my opinion, already a long time ago. But I feel like this update would have been the perfect timing to actually add that, or rework a little bit the system overall. So that's another negative point. So I think overall I will rate this update 7 out of 10 points, because I think there were a lot of quality of life changes which are really good. There were a couple of negative points as well, as I said already, but again, I can only rate what is there, and which is connected to this update, right? So like, again, the Super Troop change would have been connected to this update and was in this update, like a different power of it, but still. So that's why I kind of put it in there and why I would like to have seen it. But I cannot compare it like with an update which is on 14, right? Because that's just strange. Otherwise, we can still wait. I mean, Darren already kind of teased in the interview with the Judo that the next big update is something which we can expect. So I would expect 15. Let's just wait to see if it's going to be, I don't know, December again or October. Let's see what that is going to be. And now, you guys, let me know what you think about this last update. And again, try to approach this as far as possible when it comes down to how you rate it, because you cannot compare it with the Ton of 14 update. Then obviously it's going to be like a 1 out of 10, because Ton of 14 was already really cool. So yeah, let me know what points you would give this update. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys back tomorrow for the next one. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.